Wow, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Quite a while.
It's actually really nice doing this setup.
I know,
really
it's very cozy.
It's so cozy. I feel like we're closer than we normally are.
Yeah, and I can see the screen a little bit better. Also, this is how we usually eat dinner too.
Yeah.
We eat dinner together. We eat dinner at our coffee table in our tiny ass living room. TV's right there where you guys are. We just are like 3 feet away from our TV watching.
This is our lovely couch.
Yes.
From Wayfair. Sponsor us.
Just kidding, but. Okay, so we were like, oh yeah, maybe we'll cook today. We didn't want to. It's Memorial Day.
We did a lot.
We did a lot today.
We cleaned our garden for a solid hour or two.
More, I think. Like
really?
2 hours. Yeah.
And then we walked to Dollar Tree to get some stuff for our yori.ban pop-up, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, it was a long day. And then I still kind of want to clean the house a little bit after this.
Me too.
So I just feel like there's some stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good way to ease back into it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So we got, we ordered from Birds of a Feather, which is in Williamsburg. Would highly recommend it if any of you guys are in the New York area. It's delicious. I think it's one of my favorite restaurants in New York, honestly.
Same.
So we got
They're so cute.
pea shoots in garlic.
Whoa!
I mean, this doesn't look as much, but if you know, you know.
It's
Pea
good.
shoots are fucking delicious. And then we got spicy fish fillet. This is my favorite.
I actually don't think I've ever had that.
Oh my god, it's so good!
But I was like, that sounds delicious.
It probably isn't as crisp as if you were to get it in there, obviously.
And we also got wontons and chili oil. Super good.
And just a side of white rice.
White rice. Let me get some utensils.
Delish. Oh my gosh. Hi, Long. I know, it's been a really long time. Yes, I'm doing good. Clap. It's Szechuan food, so this is just we ordered because we're easing back into the stream. We have fried fish, spicy fish fillet, and a Szechuan peppercorns. A lot of garlic. I'm gonna squeeze the lime over.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's juicy.
This is the pea shoots.
Pea shoots and garlic, and chili oil wontons.
Quite delicious. Excited.
Delicious. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this business. I really like this view.
Yeah, I know.
I always sit on the floor too, so.
Knees up.
Knees
Always.
up.
Nice little spoon on you guys.
Thank you.
Use the lid so you don't have to.
The lid.
The lid.
The lid.
The lid.
No, Patrick, the lid.
I don't know what the last sentence you said, but other one was this is breakfast time for you, which makes sense. Yeah, in Vietnam.
Okay,
it is dinner for us.
What is this? Garlic water? No.
Pea shoots.
Pea shoots. Delicious. I love pea shoots.
Try a fish.
I've actually only been to Birds of a Feather once.
Oh, really?
But it was very good. Oh, that's so good.
So good. Man, if we got it there, it would be so crispy, too.
It's still quite crisp, considering that it came delivered.
Steamed, basically.
It's a lot of good flavors. I like the tanginess, too.
Yeah. I feel like the portions feel smaller with the takeout than...
Yeah.
It was unfortunate because it's quite expensive, but... Delish. Let me try a wonton.
Get in there. I'm into it. Yeah?
Fuck, that's so good. Spicy, sweet, soy.
I think these are my favorite.
Yeah.
Wontons and chili oil.
So good.
Mmm.
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 That's so good. Birds of a feather.
Freaking delicious.
Mm-hmm. Mmm. I feel like usually takeout is pretty miss for like fancier Chinese restaurants, but pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys are probably wondering why we haven't streamed in so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we've been traveling a lot. So, the last time you guys saw us, it was a week before we went to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't stream leading up to Italy because we left on like a Thursday. We didn't want to buy groceries to stream when we're going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just working through like what we had at home. And then I was in Italy, we couldn't stream because we were in Italy. We were there for 10 days, so for the whole other week. And then
when we got back, Becky went straight to Miami pretty much. Like 3 days after we came back for a work trip. So then I didn't want to stream by myself. It just felt like a lot getting back into it. And then last week, I went back to Michigan.
Yeah.
And
I only like recently came back from Miami. It was our first like full week, like normal back to our regular scheduled programming.
Truly.
Yes, I went on a work trip. All the way to Vietnam, come home. I asked me if I would go to Vietnam. We actually were talking about it earlier. I do really want to go to Vietnam. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe next year.
We should do it.
Yeah.
Take me around.
The roles can be reversed compared to when we were in Korea. But,
I really like this.
so good.
Huh.
I was just saying, like, he would love to see us in Vietnam.
Aww.
Maybe in the future, we'll see. But yeah, so life has been pretty busy lately.
It's been busy, yeah.
But
we've got a lot going on. Honestly.
Yeah, I think my life will be normal. I'll be in New York for like the next 3 months. So
oh really?
Back until
June, July, August. Yeah.
Yeah, until August. So I guess 2 months, June, July. But yeah, yeah. So we're back.
Thank God.
I know.
I'm also not traveling this summer. I'm pretty excited to not travel over the summer.
I just want like a New York summer, like stay here. There are people visiting New York too that I'm really hanging out with. So
who's visiting New York?
Just like Caitlin.
Oh.
Do you remember Brighton? He messaged me too. He was like, "Oh, I'm coming to New York for my first week and we hang out." I was like, "Yeah, totally."
Very cute.
But yeah. So, okay, bye. Have fun at breakfast. Yeah. We also wanted to do a chatty one because I feel like so much happened.
A lot happened. Yeah.
We got a lot of thoughts on Italy.
We should totally save this video so we can like
just listen
remember
back
our
like this is our to remember back up. Like I really wish we had saved
when Korea video.
Yeah, I know. So that was actually so hilarious.
My mom knows like every detail of that trip from that video.
But yeah. I don't even know where to start with it.
She was like, you brought those like SpongeBob boots to Italy too? After you struggled that hard in Korea? And I was like, yeah, that's cute.
We didn't walk as much in Italy as we did in Korea though. Like Italy we did walk a lot, but
yeah. I feel like most things are really close together though. Okay. So we went to Milan.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Overall trip overview is flew into Milan.
Yep.
Stayed in Milan. Went to Venice. Then went to Florence. In Florence, we did a day trip to Cinque Terre. And then we went to Rome. And then went back to Milan because our flight was a round trip out of Milan.
Yep.
So that's a snapshot of our.
It's a lot in 10
trip.
days.
Yeah, that was all. Yeah, 10 days. And I feel like something always happens.
Curbside.
Started the trip off not so strong.
Oh, I
I
forgot
feel
about
like that part, like, I always forget because, like, it was very
so early
literally,
on.
like, as soon as we stopped to Italy, something happened. Like,
Yeah.
and there was so much other stuff that happened. It just overshadowed this thing.
Yeah, this like seems like nothing.
But when we get into Italy,
Mm-hmm.
we see the currency exchange booth that's
I
also
forgot
selling.
about this too.
Selling the eSIMs as well. Both things that we had to do. So we stopped there. And then we were going to exchange money to euros.
Mm-hmm.
But we looked at the exchange rate. And we're like, oh, this exchange rate is, like, really gypping us.
Yeah.
Compared to what the actual, like, exchange rate is.
Significantly.
Like, yeah, but we didn't realize that until we already given her our money.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this is how much you'll get. And we're like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, gosh. She's like, oh, like, I'll give you a better rate if you have more money. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll exchange my money too at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it still wasn't a great deal. And we're like, oh, sorry, no. We also both of us are very much so people pleasers, so it stressed us out that we had to tell her no.
Oh, yeah. The worst.
And then, so we end up only exchanging a small amount to, like, kind of basically appease her, honestly. Like, had I gone back and, like, for myself, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just been like, oh, no, I'm not going to exchange any. Because we could use our card, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like 30%. They took 30% off. And, it, like, the exchange rate is, like, the U.S. dollar should be stronger.
Yeah.
But they took 30% off of the U.S. dollar.
Which is, like, a lot of money.
We really got gypped.
We got gypped. And when we were like, oh, like, that doesn't, like, she was like, she could tell we were, like, iffy about it. And she was like, oh, there's no other exchange rate places outside of this. And even if you do manage to find one, it's going to be the exact same exchange rate.
Yeah. So we're like, well, we got to have a little bit of cash. So
yeah.
Like,
okay, fine. That was a damn lie. Okay, like, we've had so many exchange rate places, and they were all better than the rate that we got
Straight
at
up
the airport.
lie.
Which makes sense because they're going to up at the airport, but, like, she really gypped us.
And, like, I feel like it's different because in Korea, everyone always has to do it at the airport. But, like, I feel like in Italy, they're just everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So.
In Korea, we didn't see another one, I feel like. But that happened. And then Diane buys an eSIM. And she's like, okay, here's the eSIM. So we have service in Italy. But it's not going to work. It's not going to activate for another 3 hours. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
We leave the booth, and then we're like, okay, let's take the train to our Airbnb, because Uber would have been like $100, like something outrageous, because it's so far away. The airport's so far away for no fucking reason. And so we're like, okay, let's take the train. We Google map it. Diane takes a screenshot of the, like, Google map, because we're like, oh, we won't have Wi-Fi. Didn't think it was going to be a big deal. We go down there to the subway station, and we're, like, staring at it, and we're like, I don't understand, like, what we're supposed to be doing here. We're literally standing in front of this, like, poster of a subway for a solid, like, 20 minutes. People would come up to us and be like, something in Italian. And we'd be like, do you speak English? And they're like, no. And then we just walk away. We're like, okay, oh god.
We're looking for, like, I think it was, like, number M11 or something like that. And then on the thing, there were no numbers. Or it was, like, completely different numbers. The box, like, stop name. And, like, just really scanning up and down. Also, we had to go down, like, a bunch of stairs, a bunch of escalators with our big-ass bag. Like, we had, like, a big checked bag and a carry-on. And we had just gone off an 8-hour flight. So I was like, how hard could it possibly be? Also, all the signs, they don't have any words on it. It's just, like the signs that are above the subway station.
Yeah, like, the directions. Somewhere. It's just icons.
It's just pictures.
No, it's, like...
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to get to a train. It doesn't say... train. It says a picture of a train.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, 3 different types of trains. So we're like, what? So we're like, we can't click into our Google map because it's just a screenshot. We can't,
nothing loads, no Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi. And then we are like, oh, actually, I think it's not the subway. It's something different because this picture of a train has 2 headlights and the picture on Google Maps has 1 headlight. We're like, okay, let's just look for this picture. So we're, like, going around looking for this picture of a train with 1 headlight.
It's an icon, not a picture.
Icon, yeah. Icon. Sorry.
Just to clarify, that's
We're like, okay, yeah, I think it's this. We're, like, staring at our phone and comparing it to the icon. We're like, I think this is right. I think this is right. So we're following it. And we realized we were in a completely wrong spot. We had to go up. Like, it wasn't the subway. It was a tram at the top.
Above ground.
And we had passed this exact bus stop to go down to the subway. But it was actually up. And then we're standing there. We're like, oh, we see the number train that, like, passes us, and we're like, oh, but it wasn't that one because that one says 2 blah blah. So ours is probably the opposite direction. So we just stand on the opposite track because that's how it works in New York. And we're sitting there for like solid 10 minutes, and
it doesn't come.
There's
There's no like train table either, so it's just like nothing.
yeah, we're just like standing by a track. We're like, huh, this doesn't feel right. Still no Wi-Fi. So Diane like goes into the train station, gets Wi-Fi, reloads it, expands all the things, re-screenshots it. She's like, oh, this is not where it actually is.
Yeah.
So thank God we like got Wi-Fi because we were standing at the wrong place for a long time. And then we like trek all the way to the train station. It's like a walk or tram station. The
cobblestone roads.
Yeah. Also, this specific tram. This was the smallest tram that I've ever seen. Like we didn't get on any other trams like this. Yeah. But it happened to be the smallest tram.
The oldest, too.
And the oldest tram on the day that we needed to bring all of our fucking baggage. Like, it couldn't have been, like, any of the other, like, buses or trams up. Like, seriously, it was, like, maybe the size of, like, 3 of these couches. That was it.
Yeah, and then, like, I felt like our knees were so close to the in front of us. Or, like, with our bags in front, I was like, yeah, we're touching that.
Taking up the whole space with our big bag. Anyways, we get there.
Finally. It's also been like an hour at this point since we got off of the train.
Oh, yeah, because
from
we're
the
trying
airport.
to figure out how this shit worked.
Crazy.
Anyways, yeah, so we get there to Airbnb. Here's the issue. Wi-Fi still doesn't work. And our Airbnb host sends us the instructions to get to the Airbnb and all pictures.
It's all pictures.
Which doesn't load when you have Wi-Fi. Like, the text loads. The pictures don't load. And we didn't,
I didn't screenshot the pictures. That's my bad. But I don't know.
But also, it was showing up, and then you pulled it up to take a screenshot, and it
the
immediately
pictures
went
stopped
away.
loading. Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah. So we're like, well, the only text that we have in here that's loaded is at the very bottom. It says the key is under the mat. That was all we had to go on. Going into this building, okay? And of course, this building is 3 different buildings. It's like a whole, like, complex thing. There's building A, B, and C. We're like, fuck, dude. Like, how do we know which apartment it is?
Forgot about this.
And then, so, I was like, what's the description of the place? And it's like, penthouse. I was like, okay, if we call it a penthouse, it's probably the top floor. So, like, okay, let's just go to the top floor.
Are you okay? Oh no! I can continue. Oh, she wheezes. Are you okay? You're so red. Oh no!
There's a rice grape stuck in my throat. I like inhaled and it was like, it's like stuck right here.
Oh no! Okay, I'll continue the story as Becky almost died. But yeah, so yeah, we're like penthouse description, so we should go on the top floor and then check under every single placemat that we see. The elevator in this building, also like small, like barely we could fit. We also have our bags and everything too, like our big ass bag. It's also like so small.
I was literally standing this close to that. Yeah, like we had to.
It's glass and it's wooden.
You have to open
like a wooden
door.
frame, glass. It's very old.
Yeah.
You have to like open the door first, and then you open the inside door to get into the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we're going up to the 6th floor of the building,
we're like peering out the glass of the elevator as we like go up. I'm like, oh, that apartment has a doormat. That apartment has a doormat.
Yeah, we're like, okay, 4th floor, we have to go. 4-3, we have to go. Like all that kind of stuff. We go to the apartment, or I think building A first.
Yeah.
And then check all the floor mats.
Yeah, the hand's like running out, checking under the floor mat, and I'm here thinking, what if someone just happened to have put their key under their mat, and like we end up like going into somebody's apartment? But I was like, it's not gonna happen. It's fine. I'm not even gonna think about it.
I was like, what if someone just like watches us and sees us?
I know. I was like, are there security cameras? Like, do people think I'm we're
robbing them? Okay, and then yeah, building A, no luck, unfortunately. So we go back down, open the door for the elevators, yet again, cross the street, and then I decide to go by myself because we're like, okay, it's so freaky with this tiny ass elevator and our huge bags. So I go to the top floor again, do the same thing, counting all the placemats or the floor mats, and Yeah, 6th floor, penthouse. And then I was there for like 20 minutes trying to open the door. There's 4 keys. He didn't label a single one. And then I just like shoved in whatever I thought. At first, I thought they left a car key on the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like one of those black plastic ones with a little metal tip. And I was like, it can't be that one. It was that one. And then I can't just stick it in. I had to turn it, not just once, twice, 3, 4, 5.
I literally, like, every time we had to lock the apartment, Diane would be like, ding, 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 ding.
Because I was like, God damn, we finally made it, and I can't open this freaking door. Well, we got it. We made it. We opened it.
That was, like, the first, like, hour of us. Like, just step foot into Italy. We're like, what the fuck? And then, of course, Diane is, like, researching it and realizes the eSIM doesn't work with her model of iPhone. So she spent all that money on that eSIM, and it was never going to kick in anyways, so she had to rebuy another
$75.
Yeah. So
that
woman,
airport booth really
don't
fucked us
listen
over.
to them. If you ever fly into Milan, don't do it.
Fucked us over. Because,
Yeah.
like, if I had done the other thing, like the correct eSIM, we'd have none of that issue.
I know! And she should have said, like, oh,
What model phone do you
Yeah.
have? Like, because that's what they did in Korea, you know?
Mhm.
I expect them to do it all for me.
oh, what is that?
Groceries.
Pause break to check the chat. Do either of you have a belly piercing? No.
I'm sorry, can you ring again?
Sorry, our doorbell's
Do you
going.
mind ringing again?
I've never seen those containers as white, always
Hi,
black
can you ring
plastic.
again? Do you mind ringing again?
Okay, Diane's gonna go down and deliver groceries.
I'll come down.
Damn, that sucks. Anyways, I've never seen those containers as white, always black plastic. It's usually black for us too, actually, now that I think about it. All of the ones that we save are all black. Good one. Did not think about that. Diane literally just started running here, like. Anyways, yeah, all that happened, and you would think that's like the only story we have, but no, like, it just keeps on coming, folks. Okay, so whatever. We're in Milan, and then do like food commentary on Milan since we're a food stream. Let's say if you're ever in Milan, they're very known for their aperitivo hours, which is like 6 to 8ish. Like bars will have like a deal where they'll give you like an Aperol spritz and like a little charcuterie board for like so cheap, like $6. It's insane. Or they'll have like little like finger food like buffets with your drink for like $10. Insane. Very, very nice. I really like that part of Milan. Otherwise, Milan, like, didn't really love, honestly. I thought it was going to be a lot prettier than it was. But, yeah. Anyways, and then the next thing that happened was, like, in Milan, our second day, we were actually supposed to take a day trip to Lake Como, but we didn't because, like, we had already traveled, like, 8 hours on a flight. It took us like 2 hours to get us back to the Airbnb and like figure that shit out. And then we walked around all day looking at all the Milan like sightseeing locations, and we were like so tired. So in the morning, Diane's like, "Oh, like can we just like stay back instead of go to Lake Como? We'll like be able to like just do stuff in Milan." I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great. Like I'm tired anyway, so we stay. Skip that train." Thank you. Oh, plastic bags.
Huh?
Plastic bags.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. I'm telling them about how we skipped Lake Como.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Great decision. And then, but we're like, it was like a Saturday night in Milan.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of that day, we're so tired.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we should go out. Like, we're in Milan. Like,
We had already planned to go out.
yeah, how many times can you say, like, oh, I went out in Milan, like a night out in Milan? Okay, fine. So we're like, literally, we're laying in bed. It is 11:30 at this point, and like, I am so tired. Both of us are like, I don't know if we can get up. Like, we have to. Oh, God. So we get up, fix our makeup a little bit. Diane's like, you know what? It's fine. Like, we'll just dip in, dip out. Like, we don't have to be there for long. We just have to go there just to see the scene, just to, like, know what our surroundings are like, get the vibe, and then we can dip. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, let's say, like, max latest. Because I'm like, oh, I know we can get carried away, so let's put a max. Let's say our max is 2 a.m. And then Diane's like, okay, that sounds great, but we're probably not even going to be there that long. Like, I'm so tired. Like, really, just dip in, dip out. She said that 3 times, I feel like.
Dip out. Really wanted to dip.
And then the universe, like, just didn't want us to go because it was so hard for us to get there.
Yeah. First when we were trying to leave the apartment, like, as we were walking out, I looked on Google Maps, like, oh, it's coming in, like, 10 minutes. Let's wait here for, like, 5 more minutes. So we waited inside our apartment for 5 more minutes. As we're walking out, we see the train that we're supposed to take go and just zoom past. And we're like, God damn it. So then we, like, sit there. It's coming in 12 minutes. And I was like, okay, not that bad. But then Becky had forgotten her wallet, so we had to go back up. And I was like, we'll definitely have time. It's fine. Mm-hmm. We just go back up, come back down. Mm-hmm. We finally get the train in, like, 12 minutes that we were waiting. We get on the train, and then we realize it's going the wrong direction.
It's not the right train.
So as we're on the train, we got off on the next stop. We cross the road to see how long the other train is going to take. No, they're like 17 minutes. Yeah. I was like, we just can't. It's already like 12:30 at this point. Maybe even later.
It was later. It was 12:40.
Yeah. It was a long ordeal.
Maybe we left the house at 12.
Yeah.
And it was only supposed to take 15 minutes to get to the place, like the club.
Yeah, literally 15 minutes. And then we just call it Uber at that point. In Italy, because of, like, regulations, there's no Uber regulars. There's only Uber Blacks. So it's pretty expensive. We're like, okay, it's already 12:40. We said we're going to be home by 2 a.m. So, like, we have to go now. Uh-huh. But then we're not going to go to, like, a club in Italy sober. Plus, we were like, oh, all the drinks are probably going to be super expensive there. Because, like, that's just how clubbing in New York works. Like, all the drinks are, like, $20. Yeah. So then we were like, okay, let's go pregame first at this place right in front of the club. It's, like, just straight up, like, a park. The club is in a garden, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, a whole bunch of bars right in front of it. So we're like, it's like, I Google mapped it. It's a 4-minute walk from where we're pre-gaming to the club. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we can, like, get a drink or two and then go to the club. We'll be there by, like, let's say 1:30 and then just, like, leave by 2. Mm-hmm. So we get our drinks. We do get 2 drinks, and it's only, like, 1:30 by the time we're, like, wrapping up and finishing at the pregame, just on schedule, which is also late. Yeah. On schedule, like, after we revise our schedule. Yeah. And then we walk to where Google Maps tells me to go to the club, and there's just a gate, a big fence, tall, all the way around. All the way around the fucking park. And, like, we hear the music of the club. The club is in the middle.
We're over here at the end. We just have to walk here.
Yeah, it's like, I see the flashing lights, and I'm just like, what? And then, like, there's a guy peeing on the side of the park. There's a security guard, and we're like, oh, he's like, what are you trying to do? And we're like, oh, we're trying to, like, go to the club. And he was like, around.
So we had to walk all the way around this rectangle to get all the way to the other side to walk back to the middle, which is where the club is at.
I think it took at least 15 minutes to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Just to walk around.
Yeah, so, like, literally by the time we got in, it was 2 a.m.
I know. We're like, okay, well, let's bump it up to 3 then.
You know, like, yeah, whatever. The club was cool. It was, like, Robert Cavalli's club, which is, like, a random Italian designer that I, for some reason, happen to know. It was, like, fine. It was big. Really, it was interesting because it was, like, a circle. So there was, like, stuff in the middle and then, like, a pathway around. Mm-hmm. We went to the bathroom. That took forever because there was, like, 40 people in line. I think we were there for, like, 30 minutes waiting in line.
Yeah, seriously.
It was a really long line.
And, you know, the night really just gets away from us. We end up staying out. We get home at, like, 6 in the morning, I think.
Yeah. I think we left at 5, but we got drunk food right next to us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, in the Uber, I tried, like, frantically downloading, like, Deliveroo and all the delivery apps, but it just, like, wouldn't work because they don't have an Italian phone number. Yeah. But then luckily, yeah, there was this really good drunk place.
Delicious, like, sandwich.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get home at 6, lol. Mm-hmm. Our max was 2.
Lose my ID at this point.
Yeah, lose all our cards. Not just our ID.
I have all our cards. I have my card wallet here, which is very convenient, but also hard because I do drop my phone quite frequently, and when I do, it just all pops out. And then I think I, like, realized that when I dropped it, I lost my cards, like, 1 minute after. Literally 1 minute. Like, it was right in front of our apartment gate, and I walked in, and then I was like, oh, shit, my cards. So I walked back out, gone. Crazy. It was
So
like
much
an empty street.
Crazy. Anyways, you'd think the story would be over, but it is not, friends, okay? So we go home at 6, okay? Our bad.
That's on us.
But you know what? We had a night on the lawn. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wake up. Here's the thing, though. We were supposed to catch our train to Venice at 9:15 in the morning.
Yeah, why didn't we put that in the beginning?
I don't know. I don't know what, like, I don't know. So yeah, we had already bought our train tickets. It was 9:15 in the morning. And I wake up and at, like, the 7:30 alarm or whatever that we had set for ourselves.
So an hour and a half of sleep.
Yeah. And because, like, we had missed our, like, we decided to skip our train that morning, Diane was telling me at some point that, like, oh, like, it should have, like, a 3-hour window that you can use your train ticket. And at this point, like, we had taken the train already once, and, like, no one checked the ticket. There was no assigned seating. Like, it was really chill. You just got on the train. You bought the ticket. You got on the train.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, like, let's just take a later train. Like, let's take the train at noon instead. And so, well, actually, I was like, let's take the train at 11 instead. We missed the 11 one. And I was like, okay, well, there's one at noon, so we can take the noon one. And so we're like, okay, yeah, happy dandy, it's time. We get to the train station.
I'm still drunk, honestly.
We are tired, okay? Like, even though it was the noon train, we only got, like, 5 hours of sleep still.
Yeah.
If that.
Not even, honestly.
Like 4, I think.
4.
We packed all our shit in, like, 10 minutes. Like,
Literally
actually
shoved it
insane. Yeah.
So bad.
And then we took it over to the train station. We get to the train station. I was like, okay, let me check on the Airbnb that we're staying at in Venice because I booked it. And I had to message the Airbnb host because they were like, oh, I'm going to meet you at this place to give you the keys, give you the tour of the place, etc. So I messaged them. I'm like, hey, actually, like, we're taking a later train. Can we meet at this time? They respond. I, like, look at my phone. They're like, oh, I think your reservation's canceled, ... I was, like, freaking out of this. I was like, what? Like, we're going to get there in, like, 2 hours. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay. And so, like, Airbnb, like, sent me an email. They canceled the reservation literally the night before that we were supposed to, like, get there.
Stupid.
And I see Airbnb emailed me, like, oh, like, you got a cancellation. Here's $50 in credit to make up to, like, rebook. And so, like, I was like, okay, I'll rebook. And we're in the train station. I have Wi-Fi. I don't have an eSIM, by the way. Only Diane does. So I can only operate off of Wi-Fi. On the Wi-Fi, I'm trying to book this other place, but none of these places are instant book, which also makes sense because we're doing it the day of. So I, like, sent this guy a message, like, oh, I want to book your place. And then, but then we have to dip. We have to go to get to the train. And the train itself doesn't have Wi-Fi. And I'm like, fuck. So, like, I sent this guy a message, and he said he'd check on it. And now I don't know what he, like, replied. And then turns out, like, we couldn't get that place anyways, but then another issue comes up, okay? I'm already, like, extremely stressed at this point.
I was not that stressed yet. I was like, oh, I'll find another place.
So then I opened the train tickets to get on the train, and I'm like, the original train tickets that we had for the 9 a.m. And I was like, Diane, fuck! There's assigned seats on this train!
Crazy.
I was like, what? I was like, the other train didn't have assigned seats. I didn't realize that this train had assigned seats.
Who would have known?
So, also, like, it is a busy, bustling train, okay? Like, we get in, like, almost all the rows are taken up. Like, we found, like, the one with 2 seats, like, next to each other that were open. Everything else was, like, 1-seaters. And so, like, we're really stressed. Like, I have to put up my big ass checked bag that we had. So, we're, like, putting it up for, like, this. It's, like, falling on my face like this.
Everyone's watching from their seat,
I'm sweating.
My nail pops off. I was like, oh, whatever.
And then the carry-on, because Diane and I split a checked bag and a carry-on. The carry-on, Diane just slid in and she just sat like this the whole time because she was so stressed. She's like, I don't even want to think about putting it up there. I can't.
It was so crowded up there too. There's so many people.
Yeah, like walking back and forth.
Yeah, like people were waiting for us as we were doing this.
Yeah,
so, like, just couldn't.
Stressed, okay? Freaking stressed. And then, so we're like, fuck, what do we do? Like, oh my god, like, we're definitely in someone's seat. Like,
it's so packed.
Every time someone walks past us, like, we're just like, like, really?
So scared.
Really hoping that nobody's, like, gonna kick us out of their seat or, like, oh, this is my seat. So, yeah, and then Diane was saying, like, oh, like, I think I overheard.
Yeah, I overheard a lady that was like, with her friend, and she was, like, talking to another person in another seat that was like, oh, hey, like, I don't know, something about, like, I wanted to sit with my friend. I got this individual seat, like, assigned here. So I think I'm gonna, like, go and, like, sit with my friend. So I was like, oh, I think that was, like, the person that was supposed to be in our seat. Mm-hmm. And then the other one was empty, I guess. So, like, we should be good. I think we'll be okay. Mm-hmm. And, like, at that point, the train had already taken off. Also, while I was doing this, before the train, literally.
There's so many moving parts.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts. I was really stressed at this point because I was like, I don't want to break the law and, like, get arrested or kicked off of this train. So then I was, like, frantically looking on the train website, because I do have, like, service at this point. And then I'm like, okay, should we just buy the ticket? Like, buy a seat right now. It's super annoying because it's way more expensive because it's last minute. It's like 100 euros.
Yeah.
And we'd have to move train cars, take off our luggage again, and, like, walk through the train. I don't know. It was just, like, a big ordeal. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, should we buy it? Should we buy it? I don't know. And then I was like, yeah, I think we should just buy it. We're so stressed out. Let's just buy it. And then as I was, like, about to check out, the wheel keeps on spinning. Turns out, because the train already left the station, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like, you can't buy that ticket anymore. You're like, here's the thing. It's like an Amtrak type of train, too. Yeah. It's not like it's, like, Milan, Venice. It's, like, Milan, 7 stops in between Venice. So we're really fucking hoping that these girls' seats or whatever, like, hopefully they were going to Venice, so that the seat would have been, like, not changed, like, somewhere in the way through. So, like, every time we, like, stopped another stop and, like, people were coming in, we're like...
And, like, I feel like it would be in waves, or it'd be, like, so stressed, or I'd be like, should I just buy it? Like, should I just buy the next stop?
Yeah. And then, like... But it didn't even let
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't loading.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think we're trading out into the countryside, so there's no more service. So stressed.
Like, the wheel kept on going around and around. Shit was buffering, like we're not rule breakers. Like, we didn't do that on purpose. Like, we thought it'd be fine.
Also, while we're doing this, Becky's still trying to figure out the Airbnb. And I give her my hotspot on, like, my, like, iPhone. And she's looking into it. It doesn't really work. So then she tries to log on my phone.
Two-factor authentication.
Send a text message. Or, like, I feel like it was send an email, but it wasn't working for some reason. I don't even know. Was it log into Facebook? Something. Two-factor authentication. Just fucked us up. I think we were just out of service. I don't know. Just something wasn't working. Yeah. So stressed. And
then, you know, it calms down. Really, at this point in the journey.
I feel like it's, like, a third of the way over.
Like, nobody's, like, bothered us about it yet. We're just gonna, like, sit here, cross our legs, and hope. By the way, Diane is still sitting like this. Okay, with her carry-on right here. Let's just cross our legs and hope nobody, like taps our shoulder or anything. We're like, okay, I think we're home free. And we're both sitting there, like stressed. Like, usually Diane's, like, knocked out, whatever, and, like, stressed. I was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes, and so, like, hopefully people will think I'm asleep and just won't, like, tap on my shoulder. So I'm, like, hunched over, like, because I have, so the carry-on's right here, and I have my backpack and Diane's backpack right on top. Like, 2 backpacks stacked like this, so I just put my hand on the backpack. I put my face down. But even though my face was down, my eyes were wide open the whole time. I was so fucking stressed. Like, I looked like this, but if you were underneath, I was like, I was like,
we're not real breakers. We also, like, aren't people that are, like, late that often. We're, like, so winging it. Yeah. Oh, also, we did book the Airbnb at this point, because we're like, you know, fuck the refund, the $50 credit. We'll just, like, have to do it without the $50 credit. That's fine, whatever. Because otherwise, we're just gonna be homeless.
Right, yeah. We're, like, really, like, taking a train to a place where we have no place to stay, basically. That was
and, like, Venice is an island that doesn't have any roads. Like, we're gonna have to carry our luggage around until we find a place to stay. So I was like, we'll just book it. It's fine. Like,
yeah. Anyways, starts to calm down, and then, you know, I'm still like this. Diane taps my shoulder. She's like, Becky? I'm like, what? She's like, there's a train guy coming checking tickets. And I was like, no!
The conductor.
Like, what? Like, I thought we were safe. Like, the universe could have just, like, let us have this fucking moment. Like, oh my god.
I feel like it was literally 10 minutes of, like, us being quiet. see the train conductor.
And like I can't see over the seat, so I didn't see him. And then Diana was just like, the train guy's coming. Like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Like, oh, like she's like, do I buy the ticket now? Do I just buy the ticket now? I was like, oh, but I can't. Like, it's still loading.
It's not loading. Literally not loading.
And then I was like, oh, like, do we just like feign ignorance and like just be like, oh, like I don't know, I'm a confused traveler.
I don't speak Italian or English.
Yeah. I was like, should I just start speaking Vietnamese? Should she just start speaking Korean? And show them the no internet sign that we have like on the like browser. And then Diane's like, oh, like maybe we should just show the original ticket. And I was like, I don't know, Diane. Like I literally don't know. Also, like we're having this conversation like back and forth really fast when we were speaking right now. And as this guy keeps getting closer and closer, like he gets it's like one sentence in, 5 rows away. Another sentence in, 4 rows away. And this one I'm like, I don't know, Diane, just choose one. He's 1 row away. Like the man is standing right there. And Diane's like, I'm just gonna zoom into the QR code so that the details of the train doesn't show. And so she's like. She has her phone. She's like zoomed all the way into the QR code, and the guy's like ticket, and she's like, her hand is like shaking.
I'm just trying to smile. Like, trying to smile so hard. It's like, truly.
And then the guy like scans it, and we hear a beep, and he's like, "See," and we're like. Oh my god, it was like the worst, like
fear, anxiety, straight up shaking.
It's like so funny because I was telling my friend this story and they're like, what were you so scared was gonna happen? And I was like, I don't know, okay? Like
I was like, we're gonna get arrested.
I was like, okay, like I don't know what could have happened, like Diane did say, like, oh, we're gonna get arrested and thrown into Italian jail. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. But I still don't know, like, I can't pinpoint why I'm so, like, stressed.
I just didn't want, like, a commotion, you know? Like, the social anxiety.
The social anxiety.
Of the conductor being like, you need to go.
I know. Like, what is gonna happen? Like, just the idea of that interaction was,
bad.
So scary.
I don't think I could have handled it.
I
was like, to take down my bag.
Like, walk away, get off at the next train
He's
stop.
Escorted. Yeah, like, that's what I was expecting to happen.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, we went to Venice. The Airbnb that we newly booked was actually really nice.
Very great. Silver linings. Very, very great.
Yeah.
We both had our own rooms, separate side of the apartment.
Yeah. We were like, dang, the universe, like, did not want us to go out in Milan. It took us 40 minutes to get there. We should have just surrendered. Like,
we really should have surrendered.
We surrendered. Whatever the universe tells us to do, we will do it.
By the time that we went on the wrong train, we should have just gone home.
Yeah, we should have just gone home at that point. Like, we should have listened to
it was 12:40. Yep.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. We're not rule breakers.
Yeah. Dang, you guys would think that's the end of the story, but so much more happened.
I feel like every day there's some type of snafu. I feel like we just got off on a wrong foot with that one airport lady booth.
And the Airbnb, like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of what's next.
Venice was fine.
It was great.
The only thing that was funny is that I had a work interview, and it was at like 9:30, right?
That was actually hilarious.
It was at 9:30, and then we're like, okay, if we leave the place is only like a 7-minute walk away.
No, it wasn't even. It was like 4 minutes.
Oh, it was a 4-minute walk. Yeah. 4-minute walk away. If we got there by 8, we'll have plenty of time before 9:30. Like, I just want to get back by like 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
And then like everywhere we've been has had really fast service. But for some reason, this place was like the fanciest place that we've been to so far. White tablecloths, like waiters in like the little waistcoat. And then like it was a really good dinner actually. We ordered like mussels and clams with bread,
duck ragu,
and like a squid tagliatelle, like delicious, and a panna cotta because like Becky's friend had said like Venice is known for panna cotta. Yeah, so then like. By the time we eat the mussels, for some reason I looked down, it was 8:40. And I was like, what? Like, I thought we were gonna, like, be done by, like, Like, we're only at the first course.
Yeah,
they haven't even taken away the mussels yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the panna cotta left and 2 noodle dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like...
Also, we're, like, fast eaters.
We
We're
are
like, we
fast
didn't think it'd be
eaters.
an issue. It's not like we're, like...
Yeah. It was just shocking, because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's 8:40, and we got here at 8. Like, where has the time possibly gone? And then, like, I flagged down the waiter, like, oh, like, kind of in a hurry now, like, I don't know. I really don't even remember what I said. I was just like, oh, we're kind of in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
When's the food coming out? Actually, I don't think I even asked for the food coming out. We were just like, oh, it's going to come out in, like, 5 minutes. Like,
no, because you were like, oh, once you bring the food out, can you give us the check, too?
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually have to leave.
Yeah.
At, like, 9:15, and the guy was like, we just got here. Like, why are you leaving right away? We're like, we don't know where the time went. Like, I was like, I have an appointment at 9:30. Like, I have to get back. And he was like, oh, okay. And so, yeah.
Yep, we got the noodle dishes, finally. It takes, like, yeah, after we finish the mussels, it takes, like, 5 or so minutes. Not too bad. It's, like, 8:45, 8:50. We're, like, eating it. It's good, but I'm stressed. So I'm, like eating it so fast. And then,
You nailed that shit.
Yeah, I was, like, flagged on the waiter, like, can we get a panna cotta, like, now? Not after we're done, but now.
Yeah.
Like, alongside our pasta.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, not eat it, not talking.
Not talking, just eating. And then, but here's the thing, like, we had to run home,
Yeah.
but we, like, kept getting lost. Because,
Oh my god! I forgot about that!
were we getting lost at a restaurant? Or was it earlier in the day?
It was earlier.
Earlier in the day, we were trying to get back to the Airbnb. We kept getting lost because Venice is, like, just confusing. There's a lot of, like, little tiny alleyways.
Yeah.
Like, Google Map doesn't always, like,
I forgot.
catch up on. And we, like, passed this, like, intersection of a few, like, alleyways, like, streets or whatever, with this, like, restaurant, like, outdoor restaurant, with this man. I don't know why, like, Italian waiters are so aggressive. They're like, oh, come sit down. You want a table? You want a table? And then usually it's just like, oh, no, thank you. And then we just keep moving. But this guy was, like, particularly, like, he came up and talked. He was trying to talk to us.
He was creepy.
He was a little creepy, like,
being
being flirty.
beautiful. Do you want to dance? Like, weird
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
he said, do you want to dance? We're like, no. Like, it was just really
It was
weird.
Yeah.
But we kept getting lost.
I was like, I had my Google Maps open, so I was like, hold up, okay, yeah, we had to turn this corner, and then we were like, oh, this isn't it. So I was like, okay, let's turn this corner, and I, like, according to Google Maps, this is the way. We would turn again. And he was like, you lost, lady?
We're like, no. We're like running past him. We're like, no. Like,
We're not lost.
But we passed this guy like 4 times. I'm literally not exaggerating. We passed this guy 4 times.
The intersection is empty, too. Like, we are the only people who
Yeah. Also, like, we're like the only Asian girls
Yeah.
like in Italy too. So,
Becky has red hair. I'm
bright
blonde.
red hair at this
Like,
point.
we're very noticeable.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, it's maybe just like another same like 2 girls. No, like it is us. Like, you know, it's us. We're Asian. I have red hair. She has black hair. Like,
Literally, like, turned away from the restaurant, like, 3 times, turned back, and we're like, what? Like, we followed a different road, straight back to that intersection with the man.
and then when we were leaving after dinner too, we also got confused. Kept going back to that same restaurant.
That man.
We're like, oh god, like let's just take when we were getting lost the first time, we're like, we're gonna take the long way around. Like, I can't keep running into this guy.
We ended up actually having to, like, on the last day we passed him, we had to pass him, but he was talking to someone else, thank God.
Yeah.
So we're, like, running.
We're, like shimmying under the shadows, like trying to get out of it.
That was crazy. I forgot about that. That was so funny. It felt like a movie. Like, I was like, what? Is this man again? It was also really funny when we were in Venice. Our, like, Airbnb host had to let us into the apartment and, like, showed us everything, which is super nice. Like, Venice is small, obviously, but there's, like, a ton of people, a ton of tourists. And while we were, like, on the Ponte di Rialto, which is, like, the very famous bridge, I, like, look over to Becky, and then behind her, and I'm like, what? Oh, hey!
And at this point, I was looking at Diane this way. I was like, who could Diane have possibly ran into in fucking Venice, Italy, a whole other country? I look over, I was like, oh, there's our Airbnb.
It's Marco!
There's Marco. Hey, Marco.
It was so fun. It just, like, felt like a movie scene where, like, the person has, like, every single role.
And then, yeah. Like in, I was saying, like in Avatar, The Last Airbender, the episode where they go to, like, a deserted, like, water village or something like that and save it or whatever. But he's like, the guy who sells them fish, and he puts on a different hat. He's like, "Hi, I'm the brother. I'm like the whatever. Like I do this instead." I'm like, "Oh, like aren't you guys
like Marco was working at a jewelry store, and I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, it's just like my part time. I was like, okay. And like he obviously recognized me.
Yeah.
Hello, Kyle.
Hi, Kelly. Been a while. Oh, thank you.
Thank
This
you.
is just-
Our temporary mukbang background.
Yeah.
But I really like it. It's so
I like
cozy.
it.
We should do this again.
We
if
should.
mukbang. How was your
All right.
vacation? Yeah, it was so good.
Oh, yeah, we're telling you
talking
guys
through
stories
it
right now.
Venice was really nice, though.
Can you believe we're only 3 days in at this point? These stories.
We've lived a lifetime. Also, when we first got to Venice, this is after like our very traumatic train ride. We like get off of the train or off of the train, and I realized that there's no cars. I forgot that there are no cars in Venice. So then, like, yeah, we take a beaubeautiful boat ride. It was so worth it. 50 euros.
Yeah.
Great.
I feel like we're like on the boat standing up, just like taking in the wind. I feel like we're not wearing makeup or anything because we're in such a rush. But I feel like my eye bags went down to here. I feel like I was sitting there like my eye bags down to here. I was like delusional, like hysteric. Like
I have a video selfie and I like worn. So worn. And it is so funny because we're just like cracking up. There's an old Italian man driving us with our big ass bags.
Yeah.
Also, like, we were planning to walk initially too. It was gonna be a 17-minute walk, and we see this massive bridge with like so many stairs.
Yes.
And I was like, I think I can do it, Becky. I think I can do it. She's like, Diane, no.
I was like,
I don't think we can. Thank God, or else I would have done it.
oh my god.
Ah, it's crazy.
All right, that's 3 days in.
Venice was like relatively chill. The second day it was raining, so
Yeah.
like we weren't able to see much. But honestly, Venice, I feel like you can see all of it in one day. So it was really nice, very
Beautiful.
romantic. We did do a gondola ride.
Yeah.
It was so funny because it was like during sunset, which is very romantic, and it was like getting kind of dark. Within the first like 2 minutes of us sitting there, we're like still like pretty far into the canals, and like it's dark, no one around us.
Really no one.
Like we're not really talking. And the gondolier starts singing in Italian.
He's like rowing the boat. He's like, oh.
We both can't stop laughing. Because it was just out of nowhere, you know? Like, he didn't say anything up to it. It was just like, It was like echoing off of the Venice chambers. We had already been joking about how romantic it was. Like, it was like some beautiful, lovely opera.
Oh god, hilarious.
Very romantic.
I forgot about
Yeah, those are the highlights of Venice.
that. Okay, what's next? Florence, I feel like there was nothing like. Thankfully, there wasn't
I think
anything.
it was a good.
Yeah, I feel like we had a little break before our next like big step.
The only thing that sucked about Florence is we had to go up the stairs of our 4th floor walk up carrying our bags.
Big ass bag.
They were heavy at this point
Well,
too.
Diane did most of it.
Because it wasn't heavy when we first got there, but we had bought like, I don't know.
We bought a lot of stuff in Venice. We bought like fruit. We bought olive oil.
Yeah,
we bought, I don't know,
cups.
cups. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 ass flights.
Mhm.
Swole. And then, yeah, Florence actually was pretty nice because it was more restful. We were there for like 3 nights too.
So we could like unpack more.
Yeah.
Like,
whereas the other ones we were only there for a night, so
mhm.
or 2 nights.
Yeah.
We went to a wine tour the second day, which was super fun.
So fun. Cinque Terre. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong.
No.
Oh,
Remember? Yeah, it was. We is this in Florence? Yeah, it is. We tried to go to the cathedral.
Also, there's also something about the transportation in Italy. Okay, the universe wanted us to fucking work. Okay, here we are complaining about being like getting fat on this trip. The universe is like, okay, heard you loud and clear. I'm gonna make you walk everywhere.
Was it in Florence?
It was Florence. We like got back from the winery. First of all, we take a bus, like it's a group tour thingy or whatever, right? The bus literally passes our Airbnb. So Diane asked the girl, she's like, oh, like any chance we can just get dropped off here instead of it takes like 25 minutes to get back from the stop, the tour to our, And she's like, oh no, sorry. And we're like, damn, we're like watching it like out the window, just like go past. And we're like, oh, okay. And so we get off, and then we, what was it? Oh, we took like a,
it's like a 10-minute walk to the central train station.
Oh, yeah.
Warren Central train station. And I Google Map it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we just need to take this one bus back, and it's like pretty easy back. It'll take like 17 minutes or something like that. I forgot about this. I totally forgot about this.
We go to the central station, and then we're like, damn, like, it said it was supposed to come like now, and it didn't. And I was like, okay, well, I really have to pee because we had 8 glasses of wine plus water on this winery tour. And I was like, and it is urgent. I gotta pee. Okay. So we're like, oh, there's a McDonald's there. So we scurried to the McDonald's.
Forgot about this.
Yeah. And you have to buy something for fucking McDonald's to use the bathroom.
There's it's not even just like you have to buy something like have a passcode. It is a full on like glass floor to ceiling thing that opens and closes. Like
you have to scan the receipt.
Yeah, scan the receipt whatever QR code.
Yeah. And so we order something. We both just got water bottles because we didn't want anything.
Yeah.
So we buy a water bottle. We get there and it's not freaking scanning. I'm literally my legs are crossed. Everything is together because I really need to fucking pee. I was about to blow. Okay. I was bursting at the seams at this point. I was like, I gotta go. And thankfully, there was a guy that came out. And it, got weirdly, stuck. And so we just, shimmied in real quick.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Because we did actually buy it. We got the receipts. We're like, oh, let's pick up the water later. Let's go downstairs. Trying to scan it. There was nothing to scan.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing to scan. There was
the receipt.
The QR code went to, their website. You know, you were supposed to scan the QR code to go to the website. So.
We're like, fuck.
The fuck?
Anyways,
but we got in.
We got in. And then we go back to the station. We're like, oh, I don't think the bus would have, came in this period of time. But the bus is not coming. We waited 10 minutes there, and it's just not coming. We're like, huh? So then we ended up we had to walk home.
It was so funny too because we're right by the train station, right? So there's a ton of empty taxis, that we've been seeing in the past 20 minutes that we're waiting, and we're the next bus is supposed to come soon. So let's just wait. Let's just wait. Not do the taxi yet.
And then. It just doesn't come. We're like, let's call a taxi. Fine. So we're like, oh, now we don't see any fucking taxis.
There were so many taxis.
There were so many. Literally every single, time a car passed by, a mass of cars, when the light turned green and people were trying to get
empty taxis.
Empty taxis. Now we needed it. No empty taxis. Okay. We're like, oh, maybe let's try crossing the street because we're in, kind of the bus lane. We cross the street. Empty taxi goes by in the lane up the side of the street we were originally on.
Wait!
They did not see us. Damn, okay. And so we're like, oh, let's cross back. And we cross back. And empty taxi goes by on the other side of the street.
No.
Okay, let's go to this main street over here. Go to this main street. No taxis. We saw so many taxis earlier. And we're like, okay, let's just start walking towards the direction.
It's a 20-minute walk, which is not bad.
It was more though.
I think it was 25.
25. Yeah, which is not bad, but considering we've just been doing shit all day. We're like, oh, you don't want to walk 25 minutes. It was a whole mile. We're like, oh, let's just keep walking, and if a taxi passes us, we'll wave it down. No taxis pass us. 0.
Literally not. Until, literally 5 minutes out from
our apartment. Yeah. And then we were joking. We're like, oh, it's the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob is stuck in, rock bottom. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
He's trying to get up, and every time he looks back,
the bus goes
zoom, 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 zoom. We're like, that's us with the taxis. We're like, I want to go home.
Oh, man,
God.
that was crazy. I don't even remember. I thought, didn't we get wine at the wine window? Oh, that must have been a different day.
No, I think it was a different day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, we did. That was the same day.
Huh.
Yeah. Because we were walking past it. We're like, we might as well just do it to make the most out of this walk.
Yep.
But then,
didn't we try to go to an Asian restaurant and it was closed?
Oh, yeah, after we got back to the Airbnb or whatever, I don't know, changed and stuff like that or whatever. Walked to an Asian restaurant, was closed, had to walk to a different Asian restaurant. It was a lot of walking. And then
And we were so hungry at that point.
so hungry because there wasn't like real food on like the winery tour.
It was also like I think 10 at this point because it took
Yeah, it was
so freaking long.
Yeah, it took another like 40 minutes for us to get back when it should have been 17.
It was longer than 40 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
Getting back.
And then the other day was same thing happened. We were completely on time. Like we would have been early to catch our like guided tour of the cathedral.
$20 for each. I did more than that. 30?
Yeah, $30. And then get to the bus stop. Again, it's just one bus there. Bus does not come. We passed like 2 of the timestamps that it should have been coming. We're like, okay, at this point we have to just walk and like let's hope that the taxi gets like a taxi passes by. Again, a taxi never passes us. Like we see so many taxis every other time we don't need it, and the taxi never passed us. And so we like are like booking it. Like we are speed walking.
I forgot about all of this stuff.
Another 20-minute walk. Like
so dramatic.
And then we get there literally only 5 minutes after. Like we're like, oh, it's only 5 minutes. I think it's fine. They're gone.
They're gone.
Dust.
No one.
Dust in the wind. No one was there. We're like, I guess we'll just mired from the outside.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
God.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I really forgot.
That was
about
before
that.
the winery.
Oh yeah, right? Oh yeah,
it was before the winery. And that's another thing. Is like that happened, and then we had to walk the 25 minutes home at the end of the day.
I forgot about that. That's so funny. Oh, shit.
Oh,
yeah, Florence was not... Even though the winery was very fun, though.
Winery was
But
very
the transportation,
fun.
because it's like a smaller city, I feel like it's just not super reliable, and it's really hard to call an Uber, too.
Yeah.
Because at least in Rome and in Milan, I feel like we can call an Uber Black.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So that was Florence. Chicoteri was very pretty as well. That was just a little day trip. That day was fine.
Yeah, it was good. I was just a little tired because it was long.
Yeah.
I did buy, like... Oh, yeah. The train...
Well, every day something
like the train tickets, because I remember I spent a lot of time trying to buy the train tickets because it was weird. Like, it would only, if we left earlier, it would take like 4 hours to get home. If we left at a certain time, it would only take 2, like depending on when the express train ran. And the express train only runs a couple times a day, or like a few times a day. So it was either 4 p.m. or like 7 p.m. And then by the time that we were like all done, pretty tired, ready to go home, it was like 5. So then we just had to
kill 2 hours of time before.
Yeah, it was very hot. I also bought a lemonade.
That trip was wild.
It was like specifically a lemonade because there was like lemon juice, lemonade, and I was like, oh, I'll do the lemonade because lemon juice plus sparkling water or something like that they said. And then I see her make it, and it's like a little bit bigger than this.
Not even, I feel like.
Really? It's just this?
I feel like it's that because it was a skinnier cup.
Oh yeah, it's just this. Straight lemon juice with a splash of water.
She squeezed a whole lemon. Also, those lemons there were like this big.
Yeah,
they were the size of a large orange. Or a small grapefruit.
Yeah. So I think it was like either a lemon and a half to
it was
the
like
entire
up
glass.
to here in lemon juice, and then like here for water.
It was straight up like of water, and then I got it and I was like, literally so sour. But then Becky was like, oh, you know, like there's like things on like TikTok that say like eating or drinking lemon juice is like good for you. Like it's supposed to like help like you lose weight and like get your insides working well. Which like I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. So I drank like honestly a good amount of it.
Half of it.
Yeah, considering it was like just straight up lemon juice, so sour. Like every time I drank it, I'd be like,
no, I like tried. I was like. Like literally like everything clenched up. Like
I don't think she added any sugar to it.
No,
like,
definitely no sugar in that shit. It was just lemon juice and water.
Lemonade. Yeah.
Insane.
And then my stomach started hurting. Probably because it was just straight up acid.
Yeah.
Like
and now I can't drink milk or anything to like add a base. To, like.
It was just wild. And I was like, oh, I am uncomfy. But, you know, surprisingly, considering I have IBS/lactose issues, I didn't have like an episode of the runs or anything. I did take like 2 lactates a day, but...
Yeah, that was that.
And
then the Rome debacle.
What was the Rome debacle?
What was the Rome debacle? When I cried over crack?
That was leaving Rome, not getting to Rome. Getting to
Rome was fine.
Yeah, we got on the train perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was just like the very
oh, wait. You know what I remembered in Milan? the Isola thing. We're trying to...
Oh my.
I feel like we're highlighting all the negative parts, but there are a lot of great parts. These are just like the very memorable.
Like the funny things though. Like looking back on it, it's funny, but like experiencing it was not
It was
funny.
painful. We were like, I think it was like our second night in Milan, and we're like, oh, let's like check out this like cute area called Isola. It's called Isola because it's isolated from the city because there's like train tracks that isolate it. So we like go to this really cute like museum-y thing with like designer like clothing and whatever stuff to look at this like cafe thing. So that was super cute. And then I was like, okay, it's like a super quick walk to go to from that to Isola. It says it only takes like 15. I feel like it was like 12.
10.
Yeah. 12 minutes to get to Isola from here. And then we're following Google Maps, whatever. As we're going, we see the train tracks, which is why it's called Isola. And then like the train station. And
We had to go across it.
yeah, Google Maps, like, we try to cross it, because, like, Google Maps has it as, like, the dotted lines, and then I'm like, like, this doesn't seem right. It just goes straight to the train station. It doesn't go, like, to Isola. The train station's, like, just big-ass parking lot, and it's a little bit undergroundish, so it doesn't really make any sense. We try going inside the train station, the basement of the train station to see if there's an underground walkway. No way across the train station. We're so confused, because Isola is right ahead of us.
Yeah.
There's just no way to get there. And then we go back up, and then I, like, check Google Maps again, and it's like, oh, it says, like, there's a pedestrian walkway. Underground walk... Well, I didn't even say underground, it was just pedestrian walkway.
Yeah.
And then we, like, very much zoom into the map, get to the exact point, look at all the pictures of every single step.
Yeah.
To get this pedestrian walkway, no walkway.
No, what?
Absolutely none. There's, like, stairwells to go to the subway system, but it's to the subway system.
Yeah.
We go up and down the subway system at least twice.
Multiple times.
Like 3 times, I think. And we're like, there's no way. It just goes to the train station.
Yeah,
the same
we
train
don't need to take the
station.
subway.
There's no pedestrian walkway. So I'm like, okay, let's just like, this is like 20 minutes in. 30 minutes in this point, I was walking around this area. Because we tried so many different things. And then I'm like, okay, let's just like walk further. There's like this overpass way that goes past the trains.
Yeah.
It's like probably like a 5-10 minute walk that way and then through the trainway.
Yeah.
And like on Google Maps it says like it adds 10 minutes. But I'm like, whatever, like it's too late. There's no pedestrian walkway. It does not exist. And then we finally get to the end of the pedestrian walk or end of the bridge to get to Isola. Walk down. I look over. There's an opening to the pedestrian walkway. The other side of it. I was like, what?
Like, where is this coming from? Like, are we going through portals right now where we're like,
I think we like it straight up felt like a glitch in the universe.
yeah, like we
That made no sense.
there was like, what is it when you like, yeah, I don't know, glitch in the universe,
that was not okay.
a tear in the like, you
The
know what I
seam
mean?
of
The
reality,
seam of,
yeah.
yes, that is where we were.
Nothing. There was no pedestrian walkway, but then like literally on the other end, it was so clear, like a pedestrian walkway.
Yeah, it was like pedestrian walkway. We were like, should we just walk down this thing and see where we end up? We're like, no. We already lost 30 minutes at this point in time. Like, let's get going. We like sit down to our aperitif and we're like, like it's always something. Like we have to like we can never just like relax. Like oh my god.
Also, when we were in Milan, right after this, wait, was it in Milan? No, it was in Florence. Didn't we go to Chinatown? I think it was in Florence one of the nights.
my god, we had to pee really bad.
Yeah.
McDonald's. God, McDonald's really sponsored our restroom journeys for this trip. But yeah, we were like, I forget what we were doing. We were like, oh, let's check out Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I really have to pee. And I was like, oh, I really gotta pee too. And I was like, oh, it says McDonald's. Trace minutos, okay? Not milos, whatever. It was minute.
Yeah.
O's, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, 3 minutes away. Perfect.
There's a sign. It says like turn that way. There's a sign.
McDonald's. 3 minutos, okay? We walk. I really kid you not. 20 minutes.
Why did they lie?
It was literally, we were walking for like 5 minutes. We were like, huh, that's weird. We're walking like, let's just give it a little bit more time, whatever. I was like, oh, maybe it's like, whatever. So we're like, giving it more time. I pull up the map. I was like, it's McDonald's is 1 mile away from here.
So dumb.
We had to be so
And like we're like, oh, but let's not stop anywhere because I need to pee. That was crazy. I forgot about that. Is that Milan?
That was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
God,
so
it was
funny.
hilarious. And then on the way back, we were able to like look at the shops and stuff like that.
I don't know how that happened.
Oh my gosh. Then on the way back, I was like, oh, maybe it's a 0.3 miles or something. No, it wouldn't even make sense. I don't know what it would have said, but
It says 3 minutes.
we passed
What a
the sign
fucking
again.
lie.
We were like, F you, like, it's not 3 minutes.
And there's like
Even-
nowhere else to stop for.
Even
bathroom
3
anymore.
minute drive would have been understating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
was
definitely
a
would have been
long
like a
walk.
6 minute drive.
Yeah, and we were both silent because we were like,
we were like,
really,
I had to pee. Clenching my
that was
bladder.
So funny. I feel like every single day there's a long struggle with like the transportation.
Yeah.
It's funny because we planned it all, you know, but like we just didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we like fucked up our planning, like chose the wrong places to go to, you know?
No,
It was like
we didn't. It was none of that was our fault. Oh my god. Okay. I think the last thing was just the Rome train.
Rome. Because everything else in Rome was not bad.
Yeah, Rome was great.
I love Rome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Colosseum was my favorite thing.
Colosseum was like so interesting.
Beautiful.
Learned a lot. Read a lot of facts. I think a lot of facts.
Marvelous.
Rented a Vespa.
Oh
very
yeah,
cute.
it was really cute.
Yeah.
Now this really bussin' Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
we
had
had a
our
really
best
good
meal
yeah.
in Italy was in Rome.
So good.
Other than that, honestly, hot take, don't love Italian food. I know.
I'd agree. I feel like we had like 2 really good Italian meals. I would say like
Yeah,
the
that's
first one in Milan
Mhm.
and then
the one in Rome.
the one in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
But other than
That
that,
was really funny though. Actually, like when we were in Rome, I'll just tell a story. This is our Rome story then, okay?
I
Before the last
about
thing.
this.
We go to this place. Thank God we decided to go because we were in line for another place actually. They like looped us into it, the waiters. But so we go to this other place. If you're ever in Rome, go to Mozzici.
Mm-hmm.
Mozzici? I don't know. Mozzici. It was absolutely delicious. We like look at the menu, and here's the thing about Italy, like, and maybe it was the restaurants we were looking at, but every fucking restaurant has the same menu.
Yeah.
Like every restaurant has the same pastas. Like all they're the same. And so, but this place, we were really excited because, like, they had, like, pages where it was, like, the forgotten Roman dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, oh, these dishes sound very different. Like,
yeah.
one of the dishes we ordered was lamb in carbonara
sauce.
Yeah, cream with, like, it was, like, vinegary.
So good.
We had, like, sauteed chicory with garlic. And that was, like, the only time we had a green available to us. Otherwise, we had to order a mixed salad.
Yeah.
And there's no dressing on Italian salads. It's just the
literally
olive
just
oil and balsamic they give you.
Arugula and iceberg lettuce.
And tomatoes. That's it.
Maybe a shredded carrot.
You want vegetable? The only option is that or zucchini. Roasted zucchini.
Roasted zucchini.
Roasted olive oil, salt, pepper. That is it. Nothing
Yeah.
else.
And it's just like, it's like wet, you know?
Yeah, it's like
not
not
hard.
like crisp. It's like,
It's wet.
it's sitting in a pool of juices.
That and eggplant.
That and eggplant, yeah. Anyway, sorry. A little tangent. But we're looking at this menu and we're like, oh, like everything sounds so good. Like we wanted to try cacio e pepe because that's a Roman dish, and carbonara was on the list because that's also a Roman dish. But we wanted to try something from the forgotten Roman dish page.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, okay, let's definitely do this forgotten Roman dish. And then we asked the guy, we're like, oh, let's just ask him what he thinks is better, the cacio e pepe or carbonara. Slightly our fault because the way we phrased it was like, oh, like, what is your favorite, like, pasta here? Like, what would you recommend? And then he goes off script, okay? He was not picking up what we were putting down. He's like, oh, I would recommend this truffle pasta. It's a seasonal special. It's delicious. He's delicious. Okay.
Also, the guy was not very nice to us as soon as we walked in. Just something about his demeanor.
Yeah.
Most waiters are very nice.
Yeah,
to us.
waiters, like, love us.
Always,
Usually. They, like,
yeah.
love us.
Because we're so into food, and, like, we're very curious. We ask questions, you know? Like, people that are into the food will also, like, be into the food. You know?
And, like, we just give off a vibe,
Yeah,
too. Like, I feel
we're
like
nice.
we feel very,
But he was very gruff, like, from the very beginning.
Yeah, so that, like, was already put us off. So we're, like, and, again, we're people pleasers, so it stresses us out when people don't like us.
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, so we're like, oh, like, what did you recommend? He's like, oh, this truffle pasta. And we're looking at each other like, And here's, again, like, just, like, the social anxiety of this, like, interaction. We were both, like, so stressed out because we're like, oh, we were actually thinking about either the carbonara or the cacio e pepe. And he was like, oh, like, I would recommend the truffle. And we're like, but we didn't want the truffle pasta.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, like, are you okay with it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
He was just waiting there. It was like,
Yeah. We're like, yeah, no, we'll get the truffle pasta. We'll get the truffle pasta.
we can't just like ask him what he would recommend and not take his recommendation.
I know,
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And then I'd already ordered like the forgotten Roman dish, which is like the lamb bites and carbonara, and I was like, oh, if we get anything else, it'll be too much food.
Yeah. And so like he puts in the order for the truffle pasta and the lamb.
It was such an awkward interaction, like
Yeah.
so awkward. I was reeling
We
from
were
it.
just like,
I was like so uncomfortable to the point where I was like, can I order a beer?
I does not drink beer either.
I was like, I need it. I'm so uncomfortable.
So,
I'm worked up.
So, anyways, but we were like sitting there like, damn, like we really wanted to try carbonara or cacio e pepe. We're like just looking at each other like, what do we do? Like, we just order it? Like, do we just order it? 3 pastas? Like,
2
what?
pastas, 1 main.
Oh, yeah.
And 1 vegetable.
3 entrees, a vegetable, yeah. And so, like, oh, I think it's gonna be too much food. Like, oh god, it's gonna be way too much food. And then we're like, you know what? Like, we're here. Might as well just, if we can't finish it, we can't finish it, but we want to try it. Because we're like, oh, this place looks good. We could just tell, like, this place is good. Like, they have, like, recipe testing on the TV by the guy who owns the restaurant. Like, it just, like, we're like, oh, like, I feel like the cacio e pepe here would be good. Not just, like, a tourist trap place. Also funny, the reason why we chose that place is because we saw it reviewed. It was like, I'm a traveling Asian American. And I love this place. I was like,
oh yeah.
okay, because if a
Traveling
Asian
American
American likes this place, like, okay, stamp of approval.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like a random like one guy, but yeah, so we're like, okay, let's order it. So we like shyly ask her, like, can we also order and add the cacio e pepe? And the guy's like, but like we didn't get that much of a response. So even after, we're like, do you think he's gonna give it to us? Like he gave us the other stuff first, and the cacio e pepe didn't come out yet. And we're like, do you think he actually like saw it? Like, did you hear us? We didn't get like a verbal like confirmation.
Yeah. I flagged out another waiter because we were like finishing up our first 2 dishes, and I was like, so we ordered like a cacio e pepe. The other waiter's way nicer.
Yeah,
he was like so much kinder.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, let me ask. So he goes back and asks. I don't actually think that they had put it in.
I think they did because they brought it out really fast afterwards.
Yeah.
Or they like, I don't know.
It was delicious.
And it was fucking delicious.
So good.
It was so good. We literally had 4 plates in front of us. This table was tiny, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it was filled up with all the stuff we ordered. And it's funny because we ended up eating everything. Like, the whole thing. Like, we were taking the cacio e pepe, scraping up the truffle sauce with it. Like, the plates were fucking clean, okay?
So good.
We were, like, embarrassed because we were like, first of all, like, we ordered 3 dishes. The third was, like, a random add-on. And now, the guys can come back and be like, our fat asses are going to be like, the tiramisu.
I was like, we have to. We have to. This was so good.
The best tiramisu that we had that whole trip.
Yeah.
It
was so good. So it makes me feel better because, like, at least we didn't, like, I feel like it happened before in Italy where the people were like, oh, you shouldn't order that. It's going to be too much food.
Yeah.
People like, that's like, I was worried that it was going to be like that, but.
Yeah.
We did it.
Everything.
Yeah. It wasn't as big of portions as other restaurants.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah.
Hello, dozing artists. Thanks for
Hi,
the follow. Hi, Bobo Mojo.
Hi. Was the truffle expensive? It was actually not. Truffle is not as expensive in Italy as it is here.
Yeah.
Because the truffle pasta was like $26, I think.
Yeah,
$25, something like that. If you were to get that in the U.S., it would easily be like $38. I feel like
more than that, honly, because like he shaved the black truffle right in front of us.
That would have been like $50.
And it was a whole black truffle.
It wasn't just like a little bit. It was a whole full slices. It wasn't just like a little. Yeah. Sometimes you like get it and they just grate a little bit over.
Yeah.
No, it was the
full slices, thing. And the whole sauce was super truffly.
Yeah,
too, so
delicious.
Very much worth it. A lot of the food prices were cheaper in Europe.
For sure. And you didn't have to tip. So,
yeah. It's a way more cheaper.
Yeah.
Is this the end of the show?
No. We got one more big story for you guys. We've been talking for an hour and 14 minutes.
I know, I gotta go soon. Oh, is this when you were in the EU? Oh, yes. We were in Rome for this. So this is our vacation we took a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Can you also already believe it's been 3 weeks?
Since Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, what? That's insane. Where was the food? Where are you guys from? Oh, we're in New York, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was just
this food is from a place in Brooklyn called Birds of a Feather. It's
Very
a
good.
Szechuan food place.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Are we also from the East Coast? Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Thanks for joining on this nice, fine Monday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel like last year for Memorial Day, didn't we like cook burgers?
Mm-hmm.
I think we did. Yeah, cute.
Yo, where are you gonna go this summer? Nowhere. New York summer.
I don't think we have any commands, TBH.
I think all we have is menu.
Mm-hmm.
Exclamation point menu, and it just says the title. No, we're working out. We're working out. We did, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any plans to travel this summer except for Chicago for a festival. Which is nice because Becky was doing a lot of traveling. I was also doing a lot of traveling.
Which is why we like had such a pause on our stream. But
yes, but we are
back at it
in town and around. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, but anyway, the food was delicious. Worth the social anxiety because it was our favorite meal in Rome. Very glad we got the cacio e pepe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have slapped as hard somewhere else. Did we ever end up having carbonara?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I feel like it was fine because we had that carbonara and the lamb sauce.
Yeah. And carbonara is kind of carbonara.
It's just heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've not seen the Little Mermaid movie.
I haven't. Okay, last story for you guys. Rome. Leaving Rome
to Milan.
To Milan.
The last day before we had to take our flight.
Yeah. So we went out in Rome the night before. Nothing crazy though. Like we had like 1, maybe 2 drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Went to like a few bars, walked around the area to see. Went back. We're like, okay, tomorrow morning, all we have to do is drop off the Vespa that we rented, and then check out of the Airbnb, get our stuff, and then just go to the train station, take the train back to Milan because that's where we're flying out of. And so we're like, oh, it's fine. We get up, we're going, we drop off the Vespa, and it's like fine. The drive over in the Vespa was like beautiful, like good spirits, good mood. We check the time that we check it off, and we're like, oh, we have time. Like we're on schedule. It's perfect. Like it's like 11 at this point. Our train is at 12:30. It'll take 20 minutes to get back because that's how long it takes to get here. And then like 10, 15 minutes max to get to the train station. We'll be there like half an hour, 15 minutes early at the least. But once we drop off the Vespa, we're like, let's call a taxi instead of taking the bus so it's quicker. Like we'll just try to get more time back and stuff like that. Call a taxi was not the right move. I don't know how, but this taxi, like, oh, also, we found out that the city, like, a bunch of roads were closed because of, like, a race, like a marathon or something, probably. Mm-hmm. We're like, what are the fucking odds? And how would we have known that the roads would be closed from this race? Mm-hmm. And so, like, we're like, ah, fuck. And we're, like, in the taxi ride, and we both are, like, eyeing each other, like, side-eyeing each other, because we can tell that this guy has his map up. We have our maps up. He's not following the map. Yeah. And he keeps going on different side streets, and then it keeps going back to this main road that's blocked. Yeah. It's like closed.
Like, I feel like Google Maps does a pretty good job of, like, rerouting you for, like, road closures.
And like, we, like, drove the Vespa to the place on roads that were open. So if I could, and it's not like we did a bike route. We were alongside cars the whole time. So we're like, this shouldn't be an issue. Like, and we followed Google Maps. So, like,
we were black, by the way. It was, like, 40 euros.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And so we are like, oh, like, I can tell this guy's, like, going around, like, the ETA on his phone keeps going up and up, and I'm like, oh, like, we're actually in a rush, like, we're trying to catch a train, can you make sure, like, if there's anything you can do about it, that would be great. And he's like, oh, like, I'm trying, sorry, like, the roads are closed, though, like, all the roads are closed because of this race. And he's like, I think I can get you to this point. Mm-hmm. And then we're like, oh, that's fine, it's, like, a 10-minute walk from our place, like, not a big deal. And so he's, like, trying to get there. ETA keeps going up and up, okay? And he's like, I can't get there. This is the closest we can get. And we're like, okay. So we're, like, just rushing out the Uber. Like, okay, like, we gotta walk. And then Diane opens her map, and she's like, we're a mile away. A mile away. Always a mile away.
And, like, a mile isn't bad. bad if you're like a leisurely walk. It'll take like 15 minutes, you know. But we were in a rush, okay? Like,
it would have taken a 20-something minute walk. And then we're like, oh, like, let's try scootering, the Lime scooters or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, the thing is that I can't use my phone because I can only use my phone with Wi-Fi. So Diane's like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll just do it on my app. And then we'll just do one scooter. We saw a ton of couples doing, like, one scooter thing.
The entire, time that we've been in Italy.
A ton. Like
all the time.
So many. It was so normal. And so we're like, oh, it's fine. So we're about to start going. And as soon as we start going, these, like, guards probably from the, like, security probably from the race, where they were wearing their neon whatever vest, they're like, oh, no, like, those are only for one person per scooter. And we're like, get off now. Okay, like, literally as, like, another couple, like, zooms by, 2 people on a scooter, we're like, damn,
racist.
We're Asian?
It's because we're Asian. It's because we're Asian. We stick out. But he has red hair.
Red hair. Was he a Middle Eastern driver? No, he was Italian.
He was straight up Italian. And do you guys normally stream together? Yes.
Always.
Kicked us off the Lime scooters. I looked down. We still have, like, 0.9 miles.
Yeah, we, like, did not get much distance before we started. And
I think we only have, like, 20 minutes until our train at this point, too.
Yeah, so Diane's, like, looking at me. She's like, Becky, I think we gotta run. Let me just set the scene for you, okay? There is not a cloud in the sky, okay? It is, like, 80-something degrees outside. We are wearing denim jeans. I'm wearing a tube top, okay? I don't even have straps on this bitch, okay? Like, a tube top. We were carrying our big-ass bags with, like, shit in it. And I was like, also, I am not a runner. Like, she does not run. She's not a runner.
I also do not run. I don't run.
But I'm, like, not, like, fit. Like, I haven't worked out in so long. I'm not an endurance girly, okay? Like, okay, I'll do it. Run a mile? No. She's like, oh, yeah, it'll be fine. Like, you can run a mile in, like, 10 minutes, right? I'm like, at my, like, best, on my best, like, time, like, yeah, maybe 10 minutes. It's gonna be, like, 12, 15. But the thing is, though, you don't usually run in 80-degree heat with all this other shit, holding up your shirt like this as you're running. Like, that's not how it operates. So, like, I got tired so fast. Sun was beating down on our forehead, okay? Sweat droplets trickling down my face. I was like, Diane, just go on without me. Just go on without me. And she's like, no, you can do it, Becky. Mind over matter. It's all in your head. I'm like, I'm not feeling it in my head right now. I'm feeling it in my body. I'm like, what? I, like, can't do it. She's like, okay, let's walk for a little bit and then start running, okay? I was like, okay. She's like, let's just run up until that point. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm like 50 feet behind her the whole time. My shoelace gets untied. And I feel like once you stop,
it's so
it really hits you. So I, like, need to tie my shoe. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I'm like, I leaned over like, at that point I'm like, okay, I recognize my surroundings. I'm like, I feel like we only have a few more streets left. I'm just gonna speed walk instead of run. I'm like, Diane will get there first. She'll unlock. She'll move the things out, and then I'll get there, which is precisely what happened. She gets there, unlock. By the time I get there, she's, like, rolling our stuff out. All good and dandy. But here's the thing, okay? It is, again, our train leaves at 12:30. Mm-hmm. At this point, it's what, like 12:10?
Yeah.
And we're like, I think it's later than 12:10.
I think it was like 12:15.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's supposed to take like 15 minutes to get there, so we get there at 12:30. Yeah. I think it was actually like 10 minutes to get there. But we were nervous because all the road closures. Yeah. And that other Uber like really fucked us over. So we're like, oh, holy fuck, we're not gonna be able to get there in time. We got into the Uber Black, and the guy's like, oh, I got it, it's fine.
But also it's funny because we were like, oh, like, we're trying to catch a train at 12:30. He looks at his watch, he's like, oh, God, okay. And then he's like, gets into the car. But he, like, looks so relaxed. And Diane are like, stop. Like, can you, like, I want some urgency from you, sir, okay?
So relaxed. Laid back.
I know. He's on the phone with his girlfriend, like, having, a sweet conversation with her.
Like, he's like, hi, B. Like,
blah, blah, blah. Hey, babe. Like, blah, blah.
I was so frustrated at the point because when he was calling his girlfriend, it takes over the entire screen, so you can't see the map anymore.
Yeah, and we're like,
so I was like, how do you know how to get there?
Like, I can't anymore with these taxi drivers not looking at maps. But the man knew what he was doing.
He really did.
Like, the ETA was, oh, you know what it was? It was 12:50, and we were supposed to get there at, like, 12:48 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he ends up getting us there at 12:40. So we're
I
like...
think it's 12:44.
12:44.
Yeah, so
we're
it's 6 minutes.
Yeah, and, like, he dropped us off, like, right in front of the place. So, like, had we taken, like, a bus, we would have had to run in from, like, the bus station or whatever. So, like, yeah, he is just, like, swerving and going.
It was crazy because I had Google Maps open, so it said 12:48 that we were supposed to get there. So stressed that he wasn't following the Google Maps, but we got there earlier.
Yeah, so he, like,
lovely man, thank you.
Yeah.
Talking to his girlfriend, not a care in the world.
Yeah, he's just like, we're, like, in the backseat, like, come on! But we're, like, staring at Diane's, like, phone with the ETA, like, it slowly, like, counting down. We're like, okay.
Alright.
Yeah, and then we, like, get in the train station. We're, like, running, but at the same time, Diane's like, oh, we have ample time. Like, we have, like, a whole 6 minutes. Because, like, the train doesn't leave until, like, exactly on the dot. You know, it's like, we don't have a boarding time or anything. So, the last thing was just, like, it was just annoying. Like, we had to scan our tickets to get through and the gate would open. Scan our ticket, gate would not fucking open.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I was like, if we get stopped here, like, we are so close. The train is right there. It's Benario platform 6, okay?
Wet and sweat at this point. Because, like,
yeah, because, again, we ran a mile in 80-degree heat in jeans, okay? Full jeans. Like, straight up denim, okay? Not fake, skinny, thin denim. Like, it was denim. Yeah, and so, like, it wasn't opening. Diane's like, scoosy, to the people over. It's like, this isn't open. You're like, oh, just go around this way. We're like,
start running. We're on car 8, so it has to go all the way down the track.
Yeah, and then we're like, yeah, of course, once we get to the platform, our car's at the very end. We're like, damn, I thought we were just strolling. We're like, still running at this point, okay? We get into the train. Everybody is seated already because we really made it in, like, the nick of time. Like, I think we had, like, 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then we're sweating balls, okay? And so our seat's on the inside. This sweet old couple is there, and we're like, sorry, our seat's on the inside.
Sweet old couple reading books.
Yeah, and they, like, get up. We're
in time, we're, like, smiling because we're like,
we, like, sit down, we're like, also, of course, all these trains, okay, that we've been in, freezing cold. This one, hot as fuck, okay? We're like, why, out of all moments, we need this train to be cold? It's so hot.
It was really hot.
It was so hot. And
so
it was, like, actually, like, muggy in there. It was, like, humid.
You could smell the sweat.
Yeah.
That was just me. I, like, sit down, and I'm like, oh, I lost my cardigan. You know what? Of all the things that we could have lost, that's fine. You know? That is fine.
And I was like, oh, like, we are so lucky we had that Uber driver. Lucky. And I was like, yeah, that's a very silver lining for this entire fucking negative experience that we had. Like,
we're lucky.
Like, lucky. And then this guy comes by and he's like, oh, did you drop this? It was her cardigan. And she's like, lucky.
Lucky. I love that cardigan.
Oh my god.
Like, it's so funny. And then, as we were reeling from this experience, both just, like, out of breath.
Oh, wait. What was the protest?
That's when I got to Milan.
Oh. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll get there. Sorry, we'll get there. Oh, God, I forgot that all happened. Okay.
Yeah, so as we were getting on the train, we were both so hungry because there was
Hi,
one...
Big Tippo!
Hi, Big Tippo! They were new jeans also.
Yeah, they were literally new jeans, actually.
From Zara.
People probably wondering, who are these sweaty gremlins? Like, actually. Like,
Sweaty
who are
gremlins.
these, like, sweaty little Asian girls?
I feel like it's very obvious that we had ran there. Because we were the last people on the train. And we're, like, hysterical.
Yeah.
Because it was just stressful. That was crazy. It was a crazy, like, hour, I think.
Yeah.
That we had to, like, run. Multiple forms of transportation.
Yeah. Even when we weren't running, it was just, like, a very heightened sense of, like, anxiety and stress. Because we were like, oh, like, is this going to work? Like, are we going to make it?
Yo, you use Crest white strips? I do look pretty white.
Nice.
Becky, you don't drink coffee.
No, not
Really?
too much. Yeah.
I do. But yeah, anyway, while we were on the train, we were finally like getting settled down. Everything was good. Becky was like super hungry. We're both really hungry. It's 1 p.m. We haven't eaten anything all day.
Yeah.
I thought we'd have more time at the train station.
Yeah, to grab something.
But we did not.
Oh no, you know what it was? We had time at the train station, and we were like, "Oh, let's get a coffee." Was that them?
No, that was from
different.
Florence to Rome.
It was different. Okay.
I forgot about that too.
Whatever.
That was whatever. Oh yeah, so then like Becky, the trains always like give us snacks when in the premium boat or premium train car.
Yeah.
So then like they had given us snacks before, like
in our previous trip.
Yeah, so we had it in our backpacks. We both pull out like our previous snacks. Becky has one, and it's just like not good. It's like granola, muesli.
Muesli. It tastes like Nature Valley.
Yeah.
Like roasted honey.
She literally was like, not very good. And then I'm like, oh, it's fine. There's like a train cart guy coming back. He's giving everyone snacks.
Yeah.
It looks like they have a bunch of different snacks too. Like I could see him like pulling out a bunch of different snacks.
Yeah.
The top was like a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was like giving those out. He comes over, he gives us all the bag of chips, but gives Becky. He like leans down in his car tray and like pulls out another drawer to give Becky the same chips she already had.
And here's the thing, like I had it open on my like tray table. It was like right here, right? And he proceeds open. I was like, oh, I don't want to eat anymore. He proceeds to take the same snack, puts it right next to the other snack I have, and I was like,
literally the four of us are all sitting together. We all got different snacks. Our man bent down, pulled the drawer open to give her the same snack. Maybe he was trying to be considerate. He was like, oh, she likes this snack.
I don't think so. That guy looked so mean too. That also added to it.
He was mean looking, yeah.
He like had no like.
He wasn't like hi. Like,
yeah, he was just like.
Yeah, and like I don't know why would he do that? Like lean down, open up another door to give you the different one.
Yeah, and Diane was sitting across from me, and so like, and he's like on this aisle, and he like sits in front of me. I like look down at it. I look up at Diane. I'm like.
And I'm like, oh no!
I was like, oh my god! And then I just start crying, like literally, like not like I was like tears just started streaming down my face. I was like, whoa! I'm like really just like involuntarily crying right now. Like I don't know what's happened. That was really the straw that broke the camel's back. Having the same crackers as the crackers I didn't want.
Everyone else get a different cracker. Oh, I was so stressed. And I was like, excuse me, can we have a different snack here? I literally like flagged her down. I was like, no, not on my watch. I get Becky a different snack.
It was a good snack. It was like rice chips or something. Oh my god, so sorry, but I was literally just sitting there like tears just like streaming like a lot.
Next to us, we're just like
and Diane's like, it's because she got the same crackers.
I have to say.
I'm like, I can't tell if that sounds better or worse than I'm crying over these crackers.
I wasn't saying it's because she got the same crackers. For like you crying, I said it's just why I asked for more crackers. You know?
Oh, I thought you were trying to explain to them why I was crying.
I was trying to explain to them that you needed more crackers. Oh, I didn't realize that. Whoopsie. It didn't come out.
So funny.
And they laughed.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. I was sitting there, like tears were streaming my
She
face
was crying
for like a solid 5 minutes.
I've never
Like,
seen Becky
I was
cry
like,
that
I
much.
like can't stop it. Like I don't know how to stop it. Like I think my body is just like finally like that was like the thing that like pushed me over the edge of the cliff. And like I feel like my body had the time to like process everything that had just happened for the past 2 hours. And I was just like, whoa, like I was like really hit the wall. Like
I was shook. I've never seen Becky cry so much. Or like, yeah, actually, like in the sober broad daylight, I've never seen her cry so much. I was like, oh god.
It's so funny too that you knew exactly what I was thinking as soon as you put down the crackers. Because when I looked up at you, you're like,
oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I literally was like,
funny.
excuse me, please. Leapt out of my chair. I was like, stop right here. Give me
That is
crying.
so funny.
Yeah.
I always cry telling that story because it's so funny now. God.
At the time, it was very wild.
Yeah.
Extremely stressful.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then when we got to Milan, very tired, a little grumpy. We were still very hungry because we just had 2 snacks. It was like 4 p.m. at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like walked 10 minutes to the poke place, a poke place nearby. It was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Have the poke, and they're like, you know what, let's just like Uber to our Airbnb. It's like a 20-minute train ride, so let's just Uber. And we have to walk like a bit to the train station, whatever.
With our big bags. We're like, we
and
don't
it's
need
like
any
a
more
cobblestone road.
Yeah, we're like, we don't need any more stress at this point. Like, let's just take the easy option. I'll pay for it.
Yeah, and then I called the Uber outside there, like the restaurant, and the road is empty, like completely empty. I'm like, a little weird, whatever. The Uber cancels on us twice, and I'm like, maybe this road is closed because there's no cars passing by, and it like doesn't seem like a small road, you know. And then so we walk like closer to where our train station was, and like I can see the police closure and like the police people there. I was like, God damn it, the road's closed. So we go and wait a certain area, and while we're waiting there, we do see like some empty taxis that drive by us. Our taxis like filled with people turning away from where we were coming from. So you're like, oh, I guess like it's closed. Like let's just like walk over that way and try to call the Uber from there, or we can try to call a taxi if it's empty. Whatever comes sooner.
But the same thing happens where first we're sitting on this corner, we see taxis, and we're like, we're trying to wave them down.
Yeah.
And they're not like listening to us. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because we're on this corner and they're turning the other way. Mm-hmm. Like, let's walk towards the street that they're turning into. Mm-hmm. We get there, and all of a sudden they stop. Like, all the taxis that were sitting there stalling, they all left by the time we get there. And we're like, what?
Yeah, there are no taxis.
No taxis.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, let me just call the Uber, and then we're like right in front of the train station at that point, but then the police start closing down that road too. Like it's not, like there's no more people turning into that road anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh god damn, they closed it. So I called it a little bit further away, and we start walking towards it. As we start walking towards like the corner that's like a little bit further, like 3 minutes away, to call the taxi, I was like, let's just get on another road. We turn and we see a big ass demonstration.
Like a protest.
People protesting, like with pickets and stuff like that. They're like marching down the road.
Yeah.
And then like they turn a certain way, so I'm like, okay, they're turning away from us, so it should be fine. Nope, they turn back again. Straight behind Becky. It's just Becky, a big ass bag, the protest behind her. We're like, why are they following us?
I'm like, it's following us, Diane. We're never gonna get back to the Airbnb.
Oh, thank God! I think the protest turned like right after that. Yeah. Because we were right in front of the train station. I guess they were protesting the train station. But yeah. Yet again, it was just a funny day.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this again.
That was crazy.
We got to the Airbnb. It was fine. We like literally just like laid there in silence for so long.
I think I just like took my pants off. Was in my underwear. I was like, I just can't. The jeans were so
The jeans were like sticky.
So much.
Oh, God. Let me catch up with the chats. Smooth dude was probably like, not to worry. The train dude, when Diane flagged him down,
he was mad.
Yeah, he was like did not say a word to us. I'm like, oh, jeez. Not that deep, dude.
Not free, dog. Scoosy.
You feel like snacks before you finish, right? Scoosy. But yeah, that is
Italy. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
It was beautiful though.
Yeah.
What games you like? I haven't played any games in a really long time.
Me either, actually, yeah. So for our new viewers, usually we cook on our stream. Mm-hmm. I'm just doing a mukbang to help kind of like us ease back into our normal cooking stream habit, but yeah, and we wanted to like tell you guys stories of Italy.
I feel like we did this last time.
Probably. Yeah, when we came back from Korea.
Yeah.
You ever gonna go to Taiwan?
Funny enough, I am going to Taiwan this year. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm going end of November, so it should be very fun. But yeah, we can wrap it up because we do have low battery on my MacBook.
Yeah. But
we do want to say we're doing like a yori.ban pop-up for some of our loyal friends that live in New York. So This upcoming week or two, we will be testing some recipes for those, so keep an eye out. We stream Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST. And also follow us on Instagram at yori.ban.
Yeah, the stuff is over there.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to our stories.
Returning followers.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And
Thank
new
you.
followers.
Catch us next stream Wednesday. We're recipe testing. We'll be back in cooking.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.